take a look at things from a top-down perspective. Talk us through some of the big themes out there. Peter McGuire from XM joining us live. Pete, Happy New Year to you. Wonderful of you to join us. First guest of this brand new year. Sticking with the theme, I think, Pete. Listen, talk to us about OPEC Plus. That's one thing we didn't mention in the preamble. OPEC Plus meets on Monday. What are we expecting?
Yep. Well, good morning, Nadine, and good morning, David. All the best for the year ahead. Where we're looking, as far as demand destruction, as far as what their numbers are, as far as consumption, and really it's the start. It happens in around about 6 or 8 hours' time. You'll be able to go into their YouTube site and be able to watch the meeting live. So it's all about where 20 took us and what the projections are moving into 21. We've got prices that have increased fairly strongly at that $51 to $48 level for both Brent and NYMEX, Nadine, and possibly there's a little bit further upside there as far as weaknesses US dollar also.
Something that may influence the US dollar outlook, Pete, is that Georgia Senate runoff arrives on Wednesday. We'll probably get results, hopefully starting to go and filter through by Thursday locally. How big an event is this for markets this year?
I think it's a fairly big event, but also, David, we're down in the 80s. So that 89 handle, we're at about 89.7, 89.8. We're seeing that. And the other side, of course, our dollar, the Aussie, is now at 77 mark. So it's had a very, very solid fall, down about 13% since the start of April. And I think there's further softness. So there's the first part. There's no chance as far as interest rates rising in the short term. So it just looks like stimulus is going to be the entree and main course and dessert for 21.
Yeah, and that's, you bring up the Fed, the FOMC. We get the minutes from the last meeting, which was December. Are we expecting to get any insight, I suppose, into what the monetary policy trajectory may be in 2021?
I think this week alone, Nadine, we've got enough to worry about with Georgia and then contested elections with, electors and what you're hearing there. So, no, I think it's going to be very much hands on the wheel. We've got Brexit over the line. The big theme, of course, is what pushes forward with the inauguration. And then you're looking on Friday's numbers as far as non-farm payrolls. The unemployment numbers are starting to wane. We're only looking at about 100,000 projected. So that doesn't even meet population gain. So it's we've had a very strong 20. I don't think 21 is going to be the same sort of year.
Pete, when it comes to the non-farm payrolls, do you think a weak outcome might go and bolster that need for additional fiscal stimulus? Of course, we saw an agreement finally go and get reached there in the Congress late last year. Any grounds to go and move the dial when it comes to those expectations moving forward?
I think so, David. I think that'll be possibly on the agenda come February. May look at even, the early part of March. But yes, it's going to be, the only way forward is going to be continued stimulus, get more people employed. And the second part, of course, is no chance as far as interest rate policy. So, it's going to be a long, slow grind up from a yield perspective. So I think that that's going to play well for the likes of commodities, play well for the likes of stock markets, and it could be not a bad time to be invested in those sort of markets.
Safe to say, though, Pete, this week is still likely to be quite quiet here in Australia. I suppose the US does get back to business a little bit quicker. However, generally speaking, are we set for a low volumes type scenario and therefore potential volatility?
Nadine, I'm not sure how Thursday. Well, first off, we've got to see how those Georgia runoffs go, and it's even pollsters are saying it's too close to call. And then you're looking at the likes of Ted Cruz and the other side as far as are they going to contest the election itself. As Ruth Bader Ginsburg was saying, the 6th of January is the #1 day as far as US politics each 4 years. So if that creates chaos, then I'm sure that volatility is going to really ratchet up, and you might see a dramatic pullback as far as equity markets if something surprising happens. So you can't rule that out at the moment. I'm living it minute to minute.
And here we were thinking that 2021 would be different to 2020. Doesn't appear so, at least in early stages. Pete McGuire from XM, fantastic to get your views. Have a great new year, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Nadine.